Oh, Mrs. Shirley, we got your Christmas card the other day, and my family and I are very flattered that you remembered us.
Write up a brief summary and have it to me by the end of the day. Don't forget that report.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah.
And now for our feature presentation.
Well, okay, people, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, just welcome. Episode 4, what do you believe? In the previous 3 videos, we've talked about just what it is exactly that you believe, what your beliefs are, and why. I don't know if any of these 4 videos have changed your mind or made you see this topic in a different perspective than when we started, but I hope so. I'm not going to hold you guys all day. Let's just jump in.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
No one has the right to keep fundamental truths away from the American people and humanity.
On Capitol Hill today, a bipartisan call for more government transparency on UFOs. One was asked about alien bodies. 2 others talked about seeing UAPs.
The intelligence officials that have briefed on these crash retrievals have talked about a number of different species having been observed to be associated with the crash. The bodies recovered are not all the same time.
If you could be in my shoes and see what I've seen in folks like Jay Stratton, there would be zero shadow of a doubt that these things are real and they are not made by humans.
One such object was allegedly witnessed by Mario Woods, a retired U.S. Air Force Security Forces official. Woods describes a UAP seen hovering above the blast door of an Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, or ICBM, at Ellsworth Air Force Base.
It was the size of a super Walmart building. Not just a Walmart, I mean a super Walmart. This thing was gargantuan.
He describes this object as looking like a miniature sun the size of a super Walmart.
The U.S. government operates a UFO crash retrieval program and has a UFO and the remains of, quote, a non-human pilots in its possession.
And when Dave Grush said the words non-human biologics, there was an audible gasp.
I worked with David Grush when we both contributed to the UAP task force. And everything he said under oath to the Congress and what he put down in his whistleblower complaint is 100% true.
When I hear stories of either nuclear weapon sites being shut down or turned on, what that tells me is something quite interesting. First off, is that something has a technology capable of reaching into our nuclear weapon systems at a distance in ways that we don't understand. Okay, that's just capability. But if you ask the question about intent, at the very least what it tells me is that they're showing us what they can do to us at will, or with us, or they can stop us. Now, they didn't stop us from blowing something up in Japan. They didn't stop the first of the bombs. So at some level, they're willing to let us see the consequences of our actions. But at another level, they're willing to also show us that, you know, you might think that you could hurt us one day, but you can't. We really can just reach in and stop you, or cause you to blow each other up, because at the end of the day, you're getting in our way and you're really starting to annoy us.
So even though it has been reported that some of our fighter pilots have chased these objects and even fired missiles at them, there has not been some kind of, strong negative retaliation. So it'd be pretty easy to come to the conclusion they're friendly and that's fine and there's no real threat there. But the truth of the matter is, you have to take into account, well, under what condition, that might change. For example, if you have ants at the back of your yard, they're not a threat to you, so that's fine. But if they come and invade your house, suddenly they're a threat. And so it could be the same in this situation. So at least within the defense and intelligence industry, we automatically assume the worst because we want to be prepared against the worst if it should happen.
Never in the history of our nation have we ever seen any type of legislation regarding UAP that is as detailed and specific and as directive as this one.
This would be the most aggressive measure that we've frankly ever seen in history when it comes to disclosure about what the government knows and has as it relates to UAPs.
The measure would also give the federal government control over all recovered technologies of unknown origin and biological evidence of non-human intelligence.
Eminent domain allows the U.S. government to take control of anything for national security reasons or for the betterment of the American people.
Their bipartisan plan for more transparency is getting some major pushback, though.
The defense contractors give money legally to a lot of my colleagues that provide a great deal of the pushback on this.
There's a lot of money coming from the defense industry to support elected officials with their campaigns. And then when the time comes for these elected officials to try to get to the bottom of things, they're compromised.
Something with the capabilities of traveling light years, not showing a heat signature, and the energy capabilities of that would put the Pentagon out of business. We wouldn't be fighting these worthless wars overseas over oil, and American boys and girls wouldn't be dying. It would put the war pigs out of business.
Unfortunately, there was too much resistance, and the most historic elements of the proposed legislation did not become law. We've got a big mess on our hands. We've got 80 years of lies and deception that, quite frankly, ruined a lot of people's lives, and nobody wants to take responsibility for that. And I think offering amnesty is extremely important. Let the past stay the past, then collectively move forward. But where there was smoke, there was a fire, and Congress is now aware of it. And so what that allows us to do is circle the wagons and try again.
Welcome to today's historic hearing. There are certain individuals who didn't want this hearing to happen because they feared what might be disclosed. Do you solemnly swear to affirm that the testimony that you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes. Excessive secrecy has led to grave misdeeds against loyal civil servants, military personnel, and the public, all to hide the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos. The U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries. We are in the midst of a multi-decade secretive arms race, one funded by misallocated taxpayer dollars and hidden from our elected representatives and oversight bodies. The incoming administration and Congress, I say to you, we need immediate public transparency. And this hearing is an important step on that journey.
America wants their pizzas in 30 minutes or less, and that's about our attention span. And I think the legacy program is they think that America will draw its attention somewhere else, and I just don't think that's the case. I think we've lit the fuse.
I think the American people are ready to receive the truth.
They have worked on craft of out of this world origin, but until they leak a video before they commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head 4 times, I just don't know that that's going to get out.
When I have a whistleblower coming forward telling me that they are in fear of their life and that people have been hurt protecting and hiding this information, that gives me reason for concern.
And we were really poking the bear. We were making a lot of progress. We were getting a lot of information to Congress. And it wasn't necessarily symbiotic with the legacy program and their desires. I remember one evening sitting with my wife on the front porch, and I received a call. I recognized the voice of a friend of mine, and he happened to be one of staffers on the Hill, and he was very shooken up and said, listen, we had a very interesting meeting on the Hill. And an extremely senior person in the U.S. government, in the intelligence community, told Congress, for the record, that there was a committee of 27 individuals that were mulling over the idea of using extreme measures to silence David and myself, kill us. Now people say, oh, come on, that's conspiracy. No, it's not. We have done it before. Under certain circumstances, we have killed Americans without due process. If they are a clear and present national security threat, we can kill Americans. Now, it's not done very often, but we can. Without a fair trial, they just disappear. If I wind up in a month from now floating in the Potomac somewhere, you know what happened. You know what happened. This is the truth. What else you want to know?
The reality is the American public deserves to know. And you better be careful about a government that doesn't trust its people, because there's no telling what they'll pull on you. Are you aware of any individuals that are participating in reverse engineering programs for non-terrestrial craft?
Personally, yes.
Do you have any personal knowledge of people who have been harmed or injured in efforts to cover up or conceal these extraterrestrial technology?
Yes. Personally.
Anyone been murdered that you know of?
I have to be careful. I directed people with that knowledge to the appropriate authorities.
Brave witnesses here. They took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and dadgummit, they're doing it. And we owe them a debt of gratitude.
With enough energy, you could create a bubble, a warp bubble, around a spacecraft that would have a different property of space-time inside the bubble than on the outside of the bubble.
This energy field would completely isolate the craft from the environment. So it'd be like riding space-time in the same way that a surfer would ride a wave in the ocean. Time is moving differently for people inside the bubble versus people outside the bubble. Whoever's inside the craft would feel like they're just cruising along. They wouldn't be feeling the effects of what looks like speeds and accelerations that would turn a human being into pudding. The bubble acts as a barrier between two space-time environments. This would eliminate or conceal most of the known signatures of conventional technologies. This is why radar would have difficulty tracking a craft, because the signal from the radar would be distorted by the energy field around the craft. We also observe transmedium travel because the craft is moving within its own space-time, and the outside environment through which it's moving is inconsequential. It's really disconnected from the atmosphere. Now that we understand that these craft exist in a space-time environment that's different from the exterior space-time environment, this can begin to explain claimed observations by, say, military people who have approached and gotten into a craft and find that time is running at a different rate inside the craft than time running outside the craft. They think they're only there for a few minutes. When they come outside the craft, some hours have gone by. So they feel like they've got missing time. It's not surprising when someone takes a photo of a UAP, they find they get a fuzzy and distorted picture because they're actually taking a photo through a space-time barrier.
UAPs have exhibited propulsive performance characteristics that imply the generation of 1,100 billion watts of power. This is more than 100 times the daily electrical utility power generated in the US.
Let that sink in. 100 times the daily power generation of the entire nation.
The spacecraft can produce its own bubble of vacuum energy around the craft, which is also known as zero-point energy. Craft could be using quantum entanglement to draw on a remote distant source of energy.
You could put a nuclear bomb inside one of these things and let it fly right through a building, through concrete, through steel, wherever you want it, anywhere in the world.
We want to talk about it publicly and encourage folks to talk about it. But while we're talking about it publicly, our adversaries are paying attention to context clues, to piece things together.
The truth is out there. We just need to be bold enough and brave enough to face it.
Well, all right, guys, that's it. We're going to end the video there. End the video, end the series. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. I know there's other places you can be. You can be watching other people do other things, but you're here with me hanging out. Yeah, I appreciate it. I will see you guys next time.
What the hell is that? It's a turkey. His name is Gobbles. Gobbles! And where, pray, is our beautiful trick-performing turkey? We sort of spent all the money on this one. Gobbles! Cow, can I talk to you over here for a second? Cow, why do you do these things to me? I didn't do anything to you. Timmy saw the turkey and wanted to get it. What do you want me to say to him? You say, no, Timmy, you can't have that turkey, bad Timmy.
Sensational.
All this talk of getting old is getting me down my